Shang-Chi. Where to begin? First off, this isn't going to be a step-for-step breakdown of the film. This is just going to be my thoughts after seeing the film last night. So, I liked it. I like Shang-Chi. I like Simu Liu as the main character. I thought the action sequences were very well done. The first one, when he's on the bus and his father sends those goons to catch him, when that starts off and you get that close quarter karate style fighting, that was really good. Really, I liked all of that. But Marvel did its thing then where it has to take a sequence and then kind of drive it over the top, which I normally like. I love them when Marvel does that. They do it very well. But I really thought that that scene would have been a lot better if it had have been a little bit more grounded and kind of held together. And that's going to follow through a lot in my kind of mini review here of the film. The dragon, it had everything. No, I won't talk about the dragon yet. We'll talk about the dragon later. I like the dragon though. So basically, Shang-Chi was trained as a killer from the age of whatever, 4 or 5 until he was 15 years of age. His father sends him on a mission to kill the man who killed his mother. He kills him and then he goes off on his own. Teams up with a girl called Katie. They become valets. They party all night. They sing karaoke. Have a great time. And then it all kicks off. So the Mandarin basically sends his guys to track down his 2 children. One of which is Shang-Chi, and he's in Los Angeles working as a valet with his friend Katie. And then his daughter is in Beijing, or she's running an underground fight club for superpowered individuals, and that's when we get to see Wong just, absolutely making a holy show of the Abomination. And I liked the Abomination's look, guys. I really liked the Abomination's look. I thought he looked great. It's after this point when Shang-Chi fights with the Death Dealer. After this point, I just felt like the film it pushed on the brakes. It was pushing on the brakes and hitting the accelerator a lot. So after this, we get to go back to the Mandarin's headquarters and we get to find out a little bit more about the family, about why he's getting the kids back and why he wants to go to Talao to find the mother. So the mother died. He thinks that the mother's alive in Talao behind a wall and that she's being held prisoner. But not the case. Shang-Chi and his sister go there, find their aunt, and then they start training for the arrival of the Mandarin. Don't kill me in the comments, guys. I know I'm calling him the Mandarin. I just can't think of his name. It just escaped me. But from the minute they arrive in Talao to when the actual fight happens, a lot happens in the space of that. We get more backstory on why Shang-Chi left. We kind of get a little bit more connection between the aunt and the kids. And then the character Katie spends a couple of hours training how to be a world-class archer. 25 minutes, but it felt like another hour, guys. This is like the pacing in between these sections was just terrible. I wasn't a fan of it at all. It felt like it was a montage building and then it stopped dead, and then it was another montage, stopped dead, and then it was a conversation, and then we're into the final act. And when the final act starts, there's no build up. He arrives, they're there, they're ready, they're suited up, and then everyone starts fighting. It feels like they skipped steps and they just went, no, like, let's just get on with it. So then we get a big Marvel action sequence in the 3rd phase of the movie where we have the heroes fighting the villains, and we have that bloody guy, what was his name? Generic action villain with the buzz cut, the guy with the sword. Did he write his own lines? They said, you there, big guy, you be evil, you be bad. He was like, okay, do I have lines? No. And he was like, cool. That was it. That guy was just a write-off for me. There was a lot of jokes in this movie that kind of fell flat on their faces. A lot of the humour came from that Katie character. I still liked her character. Her humour didn't land a lot. Some did, some didn't, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the comic relief to kind of just go away because it wasn't needed. Still, we do get a great action sequence between the Mandarin and Shang-Chi when they're fighting, and he basically punches his son into the lake beside Talao because his son is actually starting to get through to him, but he doesn't want to believe that his wife isn't there. And then we get to see that scene from the movie with the dragon underwater. I was waiting for that for the whole thing, and it flies up, and it's like it's a proper, I don't want to kind of jump too much into the culture of things, but it's more like what a Chinese version of a dragon is supposed to look like. It doesn't have wings, and it kind of moves like a snake. Yeah, then we get Shang-Chi being dropped off by the dragon to fight his father one more time, and he uses the technique that his mother knew to take the rings from his father, and then he essentially says, she's not there, this isn't how it's supposed to happen. His father realizes what he's been doing is wrong. Now, he's been punching this gateway since he knocked Shang-Chi into the water, and it's been letting out these little jelly baby demon things that are just, a pain. These things can only be killed by dragon scales, so the dragon comes out, starts whooping its ass, and then we get the King Jelly Baby, Doomsday, bloody, whatever it's called, Shroud Eater, or the Soul Eater. Something, he was eating some, yeah, no, I was waiting for a big bad in this. I was expecting something that I would have known about. I haven't a clue what this creature was. Now, I do read the Marvel comics myself, and when I seen this thing, I was like, okay, it's a big monster, and he's going to kill it with the rings. And then that's what happens. It does look great, but there's a lot of CGI, a lot of moving around. The final sequence is okay, but in terms of what I expected from the film, not really. I wasn't too happy with it. I did like Simu. I think his name is Simu. I did like the portrayal of Shang-Chi by the actor. I thought everyone did their roles very well, apart from generic action villain guy with the sword for his hand. The villain, the Mandarin the Father, he was portrayed very well. At the start of the film, I wasn't a fan of him, but by the end, I did like how he was portrayed. He did a great job. I had sympathy for him before he died, so that did its job. And then the icing on the cake really was the after credits scene. So then it all wraps up. Shang-Chi and Katie go back to LA to be valets, and they're sitting at the bar telling their friends about the whole movie, basically from start to finish, and their friends don't believe him. And then Wong comes in and he's just like, Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi just raises his hand like he's in a classroom, which is hilarious. And then he brings him in back to Kamatash, I think, and we have Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel there looking at the rings, and they go in deeper to the rings, and they can see that the rings is calling out for someone. So that 4-minute credit scene was better than the film for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more excited to see what Shang-Chi brings to the Avengers rather than that solo film. So to sum up, I wasn't too overly impressed with the film. I liked it. I thought it could have been a bit more grounded. I know it's a Marvel film and it has to be big, has to be great, but I just think they overstretched it with the action scenes in some cases, and the pacing was a bit off. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10 for that. But you can always disagree with me. I'm only one guy. It's only my opinion, and I love every other Marvel film. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I'm just saying it didn't hold my attention for the whole thing, which was very strange. But I still like the film. Will I watch it again? Yes. Will I like it more on my second go? Maybe. But guys, that's my thoughts on Shang-Chi. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And yeah, the next Marvel film up now I think we have is The Eternals. So that's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. Okay? So like, subscribe, do all that stuff down there. Help the channel out. Check my Instagram out. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know.